Good morning! Today we're gonna be making vegetarian biscuits and gravy that could easily be made vegan. We're just gonna use real butter, but you could easily swap in vegan butter. And it's gonna be delicious. So let's get started. We're using the King Arthur Buttery Sourdough Biscuits recipe, and we're making gravy using spicy Impossible sausage and a recipe that we just made up. But first things first, we gotta make the biscuits. While we're getting the biscuits ready, we've already preheated the oven to 425 degrees. All right, so for the biscuits, we need 1 cup of flour. The recipe calls for unbleached all-purpose flour, but we prefer to use bread flour because we find that just gives us a fluffier biscuit. 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Now that our dry ingredients are in the mixing bowl, and we're gonna whisk. Okay, now we're gonna add the cold butter, 8 tablespoons unsalted butter. We're gonna whisk again. Dough hook attached. And 1 cup of sourdough starter. We're gonna lower and mix. No. Sometimes your dough is going to put up a little bit of a fight and it's not going to want to fully become dough. So then it can be helpful to put a glove on and just get in there with your hands a little bit. Feeling better about that? We're going back to dough hooking. This is looking good. We're ready to turn off and roll out. That's a ball of dough. All right, we've got our ball of dough. I've lightly floured this surface for rolling it out. We're gonna aim for biscuits that are 1 inch thick, and this ball of dough should yield about 5 or 6 biscuits, we'll see. I'm gonna just flour my hands a little bit, and then we're gonna get to rolling. So we're gonna roll a little bit, and then we're gonna fold, and then we're gonna do that again just to kind of make some layers. Give these biscuits some depth. Okay, we're ready to make our first cuts. We have this handy dandy tool. I don't know what you would, biscuit cutter? Is that what this is called? We're gonna try to see how many we can get out of this first rollout that we did. That's a biscuit. All right, we've lined our baking tray with parchment paper and we're just gonna set them on there. The last biscuit's not gonna be the most beautiful biscuit, but that's okay. And then we're just gonna have one little runty biscuit, one little baby of the family that's doing his best, you know. Biscuit shape. Tiny bonus biscuit! Cute. Okay, we're putting our biscuits in the oven. We're gonna set a timer for 20 minutes. And while the biscuits are baking, we're going to make our gravy. We're gonna get our pan heating up. We're going to add a little bit of vegetable oil, and we're gonna cook our Impossible sausage first. Probably could have waited until the oil was hotter, but I'm hungry. Now that our sausage is getting nice and brown, we're going to add the milk. 2.5 cups of almond milk, but you could use any non-dairy milk you like, or even use dairy milk, I don't care. Now we're gonna whisk in the flour a little bit at a time. We're gonna be using 1/4 cup all-purpose flour. And if you just dumped all the flour in at once, you would have lumpy gravy, and that's not what we want. So as you can see, the flour is already making our gravy a lot thicker, and then we'll start adding our spices once this is all incorporated and whisked together. All right, spice time. For the spices, we're going to be using a mixture of onion powder, red pepper, sage. The sage gives it a really nice sausagey taste. White pepper, salt, and oregano. And we're gonna be just kind of eyeballing these. You can taste as you go. It'll be anywhere between a teaspoon and a tablespoon of each of the spices, except for salt. Don't use that much salt, that would be crazy. And if all goes right, this should time out right when your biscuits are done graving. Are done baking. There we go. We did it.
Her biscuits are done graving.
My biscuits are done graving. Let's see how they're doing. Ooh! Look at these beauties. All right. Here are our vegetarian biscuits and gravy, and now we get to do the fun part. We get to take a bite. These are so good. The biscuits are so fluffy. The gravy is so savory and rich. I mean, I have never had gravy with actual meat in it. But this gravy's pretty good, so don't at me. Anyway, this is delicious, and I'm gonna eat this now. Bye! Thanks for watching.